Well, hello people of the world, it's me Mr. Mark UK1 and welcome to a new video. I haven't done a video like this for a while where I'm sit down talking to the camera, but today I want to talk about the cameras I use and the mics and the setup I use, because there's a few people I know that want to start on YouTube, especially a friend from work, Will, and his son wants to join the YouTube world, so I'm going to give a video on what I use and what cameras I use. So I'm going to start off with well, not my first camera, but my first camera I started actually vlogging with. I don't know if you remember when I did, if long-term subscribers, when I went to Gran Canaria, I actually vlogged on this camera. So this is the DV1 camera. It's a normal little pocket camera. It still works, if you can see me there. You can see me through the screen, I can see that there. It still works, this camera. It's 1080p and fits in your pocket. It's really light. It did the job for what I used it for at the time. And then when I was in Gran Canaria, I actually bought my first GoPro, the Hero 3, which I've got here. And the GoPros are brilliant. I've got a Hero, I think this is the Hero 5 I've got here. They're brilliant. They're more like action cameras. These go underwater. So this is a waterproof camera as well. And I remember I didn't put it in water because I was too scared. My friend decided to put the tap on whilst the camera was on, and it still worked. So it's good that I'm giving that away actually. But now talking about the GoPros. So obviously this is in its waterproof casing, and it all comes out. And I think there's about another few GoPros out, a little square one, which is more of your motor box. But that's it there, the Hero 3. This one, I believe it still works. I don't use it much, but I might use it. It's handy to have two cameras. Well, more than two cameras. And then, after that, after about a year, I got my M10. Now, I vlogged most of the shows last year and the year before on this camera. And it's a good old camera, because I actually use, to make sure that all the cameras are steady, I actually use one of these, which is called a GorillaPod, and it all comes out so you can like wrap it around things, you can set it up and stuff, and it literally does. I'll show you when I get a moment. This GorillaPod's a bit big for this camera, but literally like that. So it's all steady. I've also got a Steadicam, which I don't know where it is. I think I've got one for the GoPro actually, which I think is in the caravan. Now my M10 camera is a Canon, and the lens comes off. So I know, so the lens comes off. You can change the lenses actually. I don't know what other lenses you can get for this, but I do believe you can get. I know my friend from work has got one of these cameras. Aaron Yexi, I think his channel's name is. He does live streaming, gaming live streaming. But he actually bought one of these cameras because he knew I had one. And then about last year, I bought the camera I'm using now, which is the Canon SX60. And I will link all the cameras down below on the eBay stuff. And I actually use a mic, a Rode video mic, which is plugged into the camera. So I'm going to swap cameras now and... So there you go, we're on a different camera now, we're on the Canon M10. I don't know if you can notice the quality difference, but it's a bit smaller actually. So, this is my Canon SX60. Pretty much, this is the Rode video mic I was talking about, and it just plugs into the side there. And some mics you can buy actually take batteries, but this one powers off the Canon Canon batteries. So literally you just plug and it's on straight away. Some mics I've had in the previous, you have to switch on and I've forgotten to switch it on and it got no sound. And pretty much having this is so much better because I can zoom in quite close. I don't know if you remember the video last year from One Piece. I zoomed quite close in to the stage. It picked up brilliant sound, because if you got a video of no sound, it's useless. And obviously this wind muffler, it stops the wind, so you don't get much wind noise. Because I've had previous paths where I've had an over-ear mic with separate recording. That's fine for people that sit down videos like this, but I couldn't get on well with that. So I decided to get one of these, which is it works for me. It might not work for you, but yeah, it's all good. At least I can just turn on and plug and play. But this camera's also good because it's got a super Wonic lens. and this is what's called as a bridging camera. It's in between a standard camera and a DSLR, I think. And it's great for taking photos when you want to zoom quite in, so I've got my video and taking photos at the same time. Obviously, you need batteries and stuff for it. Now, obviously, tips on making videos. As long as you've got good sound and good lighting, there's no point making a video if you can't see or hear you, because at the end of the day, I've had videos where when I first started in YouTube, you couldn't hear me and the sound was terrible. So this is why I bought one of these. Now, I don't know where the battery is for it, but yeah, I've got one of these, which pretty much, it's a light. I don't know where the battery is for this. Never mind. I don't know where the battery is for this, but pretty much it's a really bright light. It's like a studio light, so it's more portable. So it's handy. I take it camping with me when I go, and it's just falling apart. It just fell apart. Oops. Excellent, lovely jubbly. So pretty much, yeah. I don't know what else I can tip on. So pretty much the GoPros, like I say, are good cameras for like if you're doing like sports and action really. They're also a good dash. My friend uses it as a dash cam, but if you're driving a motorbike, stick on top of your helmet. But yeah, if you like more action stuff, it's good. They're not the best of emails, not the best of picking up sound, these cameras, but you can do separate recording. The DVI-1 is a good little camera for starting off with. The sound is not the best, but it's okay. But obviously this camera, my SX60, and it's an SX60 PowerShot, sorry, and the Canon M10, both brilliant cameras, both about 200, 300 pounds mark. But if obviously starting out on YouTube, don't spend a lot of money. Obviously people blog with GoPros, I know people, you can buy a stabilizer. I don't know where mine one is, but pretty much it takes out the housing. I'm waffling on now, aren't I? You take it out this housing thing and you can move it, and it's actually really smooth, which is good fun. I need it out the caravan actually. I need to charge it for the next show, which, never mind. I have got a really big one for the camera, but it's a bastard to stable weighted balance out. You know, talking about other things, editing wise, now there's loads of editing platforms you can use. If you use Windows, you've got the basic one on there. It's Windows Movie Maker, or Windows, I think it is Movie Maker. Hold on. Okay, there's Facebook going off. You've got Windows Movie Maker, you've got Cyberlink PowerDirect, which I do use from time to time. I have it on the computer. You've got Sony Vegas, you've got Premiere Pro, and all that stuff. I've never used that yet. I might think about using it. I run Mac, so I started off iMovie back in the day when I first got my MacBook. I now use Final Cut Pro, which is a Mac only program, so you can't get it if you've got Windows, so sorry about that. But Final Cut Pro is brilliant editing software. I only do basic editing, I don't do all this fancy wishy-washy stuff. But yeah, so any questions, put down in the comments below. I am giving away my little first camera. They don't know who they are just yet, but they will do very. I do apologise about the phone going off. But yeah, yes. It's Facebook going off. But yeah, they don't know yet, but they will know. But I hope you enjoyed the camera. So, yeah, I hope you'll see you in the next video, which will be probably a camping video. So, thanks for watching. Bye for now.